Hey guys, Donnie B, Learn Pro Recording. Welcome in, ladies and gentlemen. Hey, I've got some really cool stuff I want to teach with you today. But before I get into the content for today, I want to give you a gift. I want you to go to www.learnprorecording.com/studio growth formula. I'll put a link right here. I'll also put a link in the description of YouTube. You just click it and go down there and get that publication. There's going to be I'm going to paraphrase on this a little bit and just kind of touch. It's a lot, it's a lot. So I'm just going to touch on some of the important points in this podcast here, but I want you to go download the publication so you have it and you can look at it. And if you remember, if you have any questions, you can always reach out. That's info@learnprorecording.com or support@learnprorecording.com. Again, I'll put a link here so you guys have it. Anyway, let's jump right in, okay? Ladies and gentlemen, presenting the Learn Pro Recording, or what I call LPR, Studio Growth Formula. Now, this is a 7-step checklist or tips, 7 tips, so you can actually grow your studio business without having a lot of money up front, okay? Some of us don't have a ton of money, but we can still get in here and start doing some work and start making some money. And then, of course, the more money we make, the more money we can put back into our business so we can actually make more money. You see how the snowball effect works here, right? So let's get started. Step number 1, decide that this is for you. Look, some of us are not meant to be entrepreneurs. Some of us are. Some of us are not meant to be worker bees. Some of us are. So it's no offense to anyone who has an actual job and likes doing that, and that's for you, and that's how you survive, and that's how you love life. That's awesome. Please don't think that I'm making any fun of you or discounting what you do. It is not that. It's just some of us, like myself included, have a really difficult time working for someone else. I've had regular jobs, and this is why I myself personally inside can compare. It's because I have had regular jobs, okay? And I know that myself being an entrepreneur is a better deal for me. I'm definitely happier, and definitely I get to work as much or as little as I need to or as I want to. So that to me makes being an entrepreneur all worth it, because if I want to spend time with the family, I can spend time with the family. If I want to go on vacation, I go on vacation. If I don't want to work today, dude, I just don't answer the phone. You know what I mean? So there's a lot. For me, this is personal. I mean, if anyone else enjoys working for corporate or working for someone else, that's perfectly fine. I'm not mad at you, okay? So that's the first thing, man, is that you have to decide that this is for you. Like I said, this isn't for everyone, okay? Look, it's difficult to decide to do this, especially later on in life. Like when I jumped in 100% for the second time, when our son was when my wife was pregnant with our son, I kind of freaked out a little bit. I was like, oh man, I'm gonna be a dad, dude. I gotta have a real job. I gotta have a real job, you know. I gotta have 401k. I have to have insurance. I have to have that weekly paycheck, man, that every Friday I got, it comes in. And that was stable. And I did that for a while until I was really unhappy at that position. So even though I had a family, I decided to jump back into entrepreneur, and it was tough, man. I'll be honest with you, it was tough for the first few months, and until you get that snowball rolling, man, it takes a second. So that's a little bit scary, and if you have support, that's awesome. I had support of my loving wife and child, and it was awesome, and we made it work. We had a little bit. I saved up a little bit from working the regular job, the 9 to 5, and made it work. So it works, and it definitely works for me. I'm much happier now, and actually I make a whole lot more money than I did at the job. So that's another reason to decide that this is for you, because what happened me personally is that, I had a corporate job. I went for the performance review, and in the performance review, the supervisor's like, hey, you're doing a great job. We love having you here at the company. You're one of the better technicians we have here at this company, and you're also one of the highest paid technicians we have in this company, and unfortunately there's no more money for you. There's no raise this year. That doesn't work for me. So in that interview, I gave the guy my 2-week notice. That was it, man. I can't. I'm the guy, and you guys know this about me. You've heard me say this before. I'm the guy that if somebody tells me I can't do something, man, I got to just go. I just got to go extra. I got to do it. Hold my beer, bro. I'm in. So that's how it worked for me, man. And at that moment, and that was it. So at that time, I had to leave and started my own. And since I haven't looked back, man, this is awesome. This is the way I like it. This is the way I need it. I can't have someone other than my loving wife. I can't have somebody tell me what to do and where to go and when to do it and what time I could eat food. I don't need that. Okay. So step number 2 is basic marketing. You kind of have to have some basic marketing skills in order to do this. You basically have to understand how that works. I mean, you basically have to tell people who you are and what you do. Now in our space, in the studio, recording, audio, mixing, mastering space, we don't really have you can't really like put an ad on radio or that kind of thing, or you can't like put it, like I say in the publication here, you shouldn't go put flyers up at a laundromat. I mean, it's just musicians do have to do their laundry, but I mean, I don't think that that's not really our market. You know what I mean? So the best marketing that we have as studios, audio engineers, things like that is word of mouth. You do a job for a client or an artist, and then they like, oh, dude, that was awesome. Great. Tell your friends. Now, kind of what I do, and we're going to talk more about this in a little while, but kind of one of the things that I do is after I do a session with a client, the client pays me, they're gone, they're finished, they got their product. I send them an email like the next day going, hey, thanks for hanging out at the studio with me, man. Hope you had a great time. Here's a coupon for next time you come in. Just use this code next time you book online. And save yourself 20%. Oh, and if you don't mind, here's a link. Click this and go let other people know that you had a great time. And it's a link straight to my Google reviews or my Yelp page. Dude, you have to make it really, really simple for people to go, oh, yeah, no, I did have a great time. Let me go click, fill out the thing. Even if, dude, I've actually had clients just go click the thing, give a 5-star, and move on. Don't even leave a comment. That's more awesome because it keeps that algorithm, keeps you up at the top kind of thing. So even that, I mean, even if they don't leave a comment, it still is extra because you just gave them a quick link. They don't have to go log into their Google. They don't have to go log into Yelp page and then go, oh, okay, I'll do a review. They don't have to do that. You made it really simple for them. Click, 5 stars, day's done. It's literally 4 seconds of their life is gone. So that's awesome. Look, in this publication that I'm giving you today is much more information on this. Okay, I'm just kind of, like I said, I'm just kind of paraphrasing on this, okay? The other thing that you need for your marketing and for your presence is you have to have a web presence. Even if it's just a simple landing page where if somebody types in the name of your business, they go to this landing page and get some information. Not information about you as a entrepreneur, or you as a mix guy, or you as a mix girl, or you as a mastering person, or you as a studio. No, what they want to know is what are you going to do for them? And that's what makes a huge difference in the web presence. Man, I can talk the entire half hour just on how important it is to have a presence on the internet. This is where people go, and you have to be searchable. That's a whole nother thing we're going to talk about here in a minute with social media and SEO. We're going to talk a little bit more about that as well. Look, like I said, there's a whole lot more about this in the publication. So you guys, please download this, understand it, and read it. It's going to help you grow. This is the biggest thing is that I want to see you grow. I want to see you make more money than you've made at a job. I mean, hashtag quit your day job. Again, I'm going to put a link right here, man. Y'all need to go quit your day jobs and come do this. This is awesome. It's amazing. I get to just deal with like super talented people all day long. I'm recording, I'm mixing, I'm editing, I'm dealing with clients. It's just, dude, I can't tell you through the screen how much I absolutely adore doing what I do. This is like, I'm just having fun and I make money and it's awesome. And it's like, I make more money now than I ever made at that job that I had for a few years. And it's just, I make more money in a day than I made in a week at that job. And it's just ridiculous that that's available and you're able to do that. I'm giving you the information that you need to come do what I do. This is amazing. I mean, dude, I started This whole thing started as a laptop and an M box. If you guys remember what the M box was, the little Avid interface thing, that was it, dude. That's all I had. I started with that on my dining room table. The kid in the living room right next door watching SpongeBob, and I'm in here making money. You know what I'm saying? This is ridiculous. And now, then look at it, dude. We've got 2,000 plus square feet here. We got 4 studios in this building, and I got 3 more studios in the building next door. I don't even really talk about the building next door because the building next door is simply production rooms. We don't do any work over there. We just kind of rent the rooms to other producers. Not that I make a bunch of money over there, but it is a great tax deduction, and we will discuss this in a minute. So moving on. You have to have a simple website. Now, your simple website, you're going to need to secure a domain name for your business, okay? So even before you register your business, you can start thinking up your domain name, okay? And it should be something really professional, okay? Don't make it like, juicybootydawn@gmail.com or, myfriendslove420.com. None of the, look, that's great for you and your friends, but as a professional courtesy to your clients, keep it real. I don't know how it works in your state if you're not in California, but in California we have a thing. It's called the sales tax incentive. If your company is a production company in the state of California, you only pay 3.25% or 3.4% sales tax instead of whatever it is. Like in Los Angeles County, our sales tax is 10.5 or 10.6% sales tax. But because I'm a production company, whenever I buy something for the company, which is pretty much everything, I only pay 3.4, I think, is what it is. But you get you're basically saving almost 7% straight up. Dude, that pays off when you're buying that $4,000 MacBook Pro when you need to go do work. I'm just saying. So I don't know how it is in your state or your county or wherever you are. I know some counties, even around Los Angeles County, the sales tax is a little lower, but you still are going to save 4 or 5%. And that works out, man. It's a lot of money. So we're going to talk about this in a little bit too. There are reasons to have your domain and have your company registered, and we're going to talk about the company registration in a minute. But a domain, you should have a domain, and you should have the word productions in your domain, just to make it clear that this is what you do. Okay, that's just another trick. Again, it's all in the publication. When you guys download it, you'll get a lot more out of it. Okay. As far as email goes, dude, your email address should be as professional as your domain name. Like info@learnprorecording.com. That's my email. That's how you guys can reach me. Yes, I have my personal email that I give to my friends and family, but that's a .com thing. It's not even. It's easy, but try to keep it professional. Your clients will appreciate that, right? And as far as your webpage goes, dude, look, I saw this webpage, and I actually I'm not gonna show it on the thing today because I don't want to embarrass the guy that is his webpage, but it's one of the worst websites I have ever seen in my entire life. It was literally scrolling and scrolling and scrolling and scrolling, trying to get to info. What do you do, bro? What actually do you do? I don't know. I've scrolled like 18 pages and I still don't know what you do. I still don't know what you're offering. Why am I here? Why did I come to your page? Scroll and scroll and scroll. There was like literally 2 rows of menus at the top of the page. Bro, don't give me a lot of stuff to do. I don't want a lot of stuff to do. I'm pointing over here because my laptop's right here. I don't want a lot of stuff that I have to do. I don't want to have to scroll and scroll and scroll to get to something that I'm going, oh, that's what you do. I wasn't sure if this guy was a mix engineer or a mastering engineer or if he is a piano. I don't know I don't know what you do. I really don't. I still don't know what the guy does. And then on his contact page, on this very same website, he had a contact menu. One of the 2 rows was contact. I'm like, I'm going to reach out to this guy. And ask him, yo, bro, what do you do? Why did you send me your website? So I clicked on the contact, and it said something about the best way to reach us is by phone. But there was no number. You're telling me the best way to reach you is by phone, but you don't put your phone number. How am I supposed to call you? How am I supposed to know? Dude, don't do that. Look, if you go right now, pause this video, go right now to www.learnprorecording.com. Take a look at that webpage. I'll wait. That's funny. But no, look, it's one page, dude. And it's like literally everything you need to know is right above what they call right above the fold. If somebody has to scroll to see what you're doing, you know, like you got a big picture of you in the front and there's just a picture of maybe your studio right there. I don't care. I want to know when you have 3 seconds to grab your listeners or your viewers' attention. If you don't grab them and hook them in and want them to go, oh, let me go look and see what else is on this page. If you don't do that within the first 3 seconds, bro, they're gone. They're on to the next guy and they will never come back to your site. Trust. I'm telling you, man. And I'm going to try to do a video explaining this one guy's website without embarrassing the guy. I don't want anyone to know who the guy is. So I'm going to find his website and I'm going to black out his names and emails and things like that on there so that we don't know who it is. But I do want you to see this website and how bad it actually is. It's horrible. I mean, if this guy's using this website to try to get clients, it ain't working, bro. You wonder why you still got your job down at the Home Depot, man. That's it. That's it right there, bro. Nobody knows who you are and what you do. I mean, look, you have to have a killer headline and a killer sub-headline. That's all you need. At the top of your website, this is what I do. Boom, this is who I am. This is what I do. Okay? That's it. That's all you need. You need that. You have to hook your viewer in and go, okay, well, because you want them to go, oh, this guy does this is exactly what I need. So we're going to talk a little bit more about that when we talk about social media coming up next. That's the next step. Social media and SEO. SEO is search engine optimization. So when somebody searches for a recording studio in their local area, you want to come up first. That's all. That's all SEO is. Okay, and then when they search, they click on the thing, they want to be hooked in. Otherwise, they're going back and clicking on the second one, which is your competitor. You don't want that. Okay, so step number 4. In the publication, I'm giving you some links to some people who can help you. Some quick like GoDaddy, Wix, Squarespace, WordPress. These are places where you can go make free sites, if not, super cheap. Okay, like Squarespace is $20. You can register your domain. They usually give you a free domain registration. You get that, your .com, and then you got a website. It's $20. And Squarespace is actually really easy to use. If you want a picture, drop a picture. It's really simple. Actually, if you go to our studio website, esaudio.com, it is hosted at Squarespace. It's a good-looking site. Nobody cares, It's easy to use, man. Nobody knows that we're using Squarespace unless you know Squarespace really well. You kind of can't really tell. So it's awesome. Step 4, social media, SEO, search engine optimization. Look, all right, let's talk about the SEO first. The SEO is really, really important. Important because you have to be able to be searched. You have to be searchable. You want people to find you on Google, for instance. The Google's like the number 1 search engine. You know what the number 2 search engine is? YouTube. Believe it or not, it's YouTube. So talking about social media and talking about SEO, social media is not the greatest SEO generator. It's not the greatest marketing tool. You might be an influencer on social media sites, TikTok, Instagram, Facebook, Twitter, whatever. You might have a good presence on there, but man, if you're not searchable, nobody cares. You know what I'm saying? Here's my problem with social media is that if you post something on Instagram, for instance, right? The next time somebody posts on top, yours moves down a little bit. And then somebody posts on top of that, yours moves down. So eventually during the day, I mean, if you only post on Instagram once a day or once a week, like I do, yeah, once a week, dude, you got to scroll way down there. Now, other times, some other people are here and they tag me in their posts, and then it brings me back up to the top. But social media is not really the greatest searchable engine marketing that you can do. Okay, social media is great for exactly what it is. Social media, you can have like a Instagram or Facebook for your family and friends, that kind of thing. That's totally fine. But again, if you do have social media for your business, for your entrepreneur business, your freelance business, studio, audio engineering, whatever, it should be for professional. Don't make it like a really difficult, long at this to for people to search. Again, having the search engine optimization thing is awesome. YouTube is like the number 2 searchable thing. So if I need to learn, let's say I need to learn how to weld, I'm going to YouTube. How do I weld? And all these things are going to come up that talks about welding. So if somebody's looking for a studio, they might be, let me look for a studio in my area, local studios in my area. But it's going to bring up any on YouTube is going to bring up any videos that are on about your studio. So you should have videos on YouTube about your studio. It's really a no-brainer. It really is. Sites like YouTube are awesome for marketing because it stays there and it stays searchable. And that's why you should do YouTube instead of Instagram or LinkedIn or that kind of thing. I mean, in my world, fortunately, I don't have to deal that much with social media. I have someone else that helps out with our social media. My partner in life and in the business here is she understands the social media marketing and understands the social media algorithm, and that's actually her full-time job. She does this for other people as well, but she also does it for the studio. So I personally don't have to really deal with it. She does that stuff, and she's pretty good at it. I do the YouTube, and I also do Learn Pro Recording, and I also do stuff for the studio on YouTube. So it's not really, and an SEO on your website, you have to make words, searchable words in part of your website. Part of your text in your website have to be searchable words for when somebody's searching for you. Okay, so that's a whole thing. Again, I'm not going too deep into all this stuff. A lot more of this stuff is in this publication so you guys can get it, okay? There's a whole technology to the SEO that you guys can search. Again, search on YouTube on how to do better on your SEO, okay? So that's a cool thing. Step number 5, registering your business as a DBA, LLC, S Corp, partnership, whatever. But registering your business and how important it actually is. Dude, there are so many advantages to registering your business in your local area, even as just doing business as, or otherwise known as a fictitious business name statement. We can do a little bit more videos later on about each one of these steps and go a little bit deeper into each step. I'm just going to kind of like touch on this a little bit here, but I'm not a lawyer. I'm not a doctor. I'm not a professional in this area. I'm not an accountant. I don't understand any of this stuff. But I'm not trying to give you advice on how to do things legally in your area, in your state, in your city. I'm not trying to do that at all, okay? So this disclaimer out of the way, man. But you definitely should register your business to make it legit. In California here, we have, like I said a little earlier, man, we have some benefits with the sales tax that we get, but also other taxes when it comes to being able to basically itemize your deductions as a business. Allows you to do what the IRS called a Schedule C form. It basically you can deduct things that you buy for your business from the tax that you owe at the end of the year from the money that you made from your business. Again, I'm not a lawyer. I'm not an accountant. I'm not a tax specialist. So, I just understand how it works for me. Okay. But in order to do that, you have to be a legit registered business. Now in California, again, I'm giving you a couple of links in the publication. So go down, download the publication and get the links are there. Basically it's LegalZoom.com or signaturefiling.com. These are 2 sites that will help you register your business in your local area. They have access to all the rules and regulations in your area. So there's that. All right. So you can just go there and check that out. But I know that signaturefiling.com is like $150 for 5 years of registration. It's crazy. If you register as a doing business as or fictitious business name statement, depending on where you're from, that's what they call it. The other side of it is LLC, limited liability company. In California, an LLC is expensive. There are some disadvantages to it. There are some advantages and disadvantages, and we talk about that in the publication, so I'm not going to go too deep into it here. But one of the disadvantages in California is that you have to, well, first of all, it's $800 out the door, straight up, every year. That's what it costs you to have an LLC, okay? But that is also tax deductible, but it's still $800 out of your pocket. Okay. But then what you have to do also is you have to estimate your quarterly tax and pay it. You have to estimate what you've made and how much you owe in tax. And you have to send that to the IRS every 3 months. Okay, so there's that. As a DBA, you don't have to do the quarterly. You can wait till the end of the year and file your taxes at the end of the year. You're doing both as a sole proprietor, so it's just you. When you get into partnerships and corporations with a board and things like that, it gets a little bit more sticky and a little bit more involved. But again, not going to go too deep into this, so there's that. All right, because this can get really deep, talking about laws and things like that. But the thing with the tax deduction, the business use tax deduction on the Schedule C, that is how we, as entrepreneurs and as business owners and small business owners and sole proprietors, that's how we do business. Okay, most of you guys that have regular jobs, at the end of the year, you get your W-2 form and you got to fill that out and send it into that's what you fill out your taxes and we get 1099 forms, which are similar to that W-2 thing, except they don't take taxes out along the way. Okay, we're responsible for our taxes at the end of the year. So what we need tax deductions. So let's say our tax bill for the end of the year is $4,000. We need to have deductions worth some of the $4,000 so we don't have to pay all $4,000. See how this works? It's kind of like, as you can deduct business use items from your taxes, you lower your tax bill for the money that you actually made. So this is how it kind of turns into a little snowball effect as well, because you can make more money and you can put the money back into your company, and then that money comes off of your taxes. So it kind of works into building and building and building and building and keep snowballing and growing. Okay. So in your area, do your research, go to signaturefiling.com or legalzoom.com, find out what the laws are in your local area. Get it done. Become a legit business. I mean, it's not that expensive, and even the cost of that is tax deductible. So there is that. All right. So again, not going too deep into all this stuff in this publication because I'm 22 minutes in already, and I still got 2 more things to talk about. Okay. So the next thing we need to discuss is step number 6 is acquiring gear, equipment. Dude, this is some of the easier things to talk about because there are ways to get your equipment that you need to run your business and to grow your business without taking a bunch of money out of your pocket and buying equipment to be able to run your business and grow your business. Okay. Again, much more information in the publication, www.learnprorecording.com/studio growth formula. Okay, I'll put another link right here. So, without getting too deep, let's discuss leasing. You can just take a loan, a business loan, a small business administration loan, and go buy a bunch of gear, right? But then you're responsible for paying that loan back. Of course you are. Everybody, you have to be. You have to. If you borrow money, you have to pay back the money, unless you got a rich Uncle Pete. But I don't. So leasing gear. The deal with and I'm not really sure about in your local area or your state or city. But here in California, if I lease gear, if I lease my equipment, okay, first of all, it's a lease. So I don't own it. I'm kind of renting it. All right. But now I have the gear in my studio to help. Now I got this awesome, let's say I'm going to buy an awesome microphone. Okay. It's a $5,000 microphone. I got a $5,000 microphone. I'm going to get more business into my studio because I've got this awesome $5,000 microphone that everybody wants to use. Not that it's even the best microphone we could talk about. This is a whole nother podcast. Let's not get into that. But let's say that people really want this microphone. So they come here and they know that I have this microphone, so they come to my studio. Okay. So I've got this microphone now and I'm generating more money. Okay. So I leased this piece of gear, this microphone, and my lease payment is $100 a month. That's what it cost me. $100 a month. I've got the piece of gear. So now I can make more money. So now it's easy for me to make the extra $100 a month because I got the piece of gear right here, right? So the piece of gear is paying for itself. Now, At the end of the year, 100% of my lease payments is tax deductible. I can deduct that from the money that I owe in taxes. If you think about this in a sense like that, you're getting this piece of gear for free. Because you get to deduct that from the money that you owe on your taxes because it's a lease deal, it's 100% deductible. This is awesome. You guys should pay attention. It's all in the publication as well, okay? So, at the end of the lease, let's say the lease is 5 years. So, you've basically got you've had the piece of gear in your studio for 5 years. You've made extra money in your studio because you have the piece of gear. You basically get to deduct most of the lease payments on your taxes. So basically you're getting this piece of gear for free. And now you buy the piece of gear. Once your lease is up, you can purchase the piece of gear from your leasing company. It's usually a small, like a $1 buyout. Of course, there's fees and stuff, but it's a $1 buyout. So you buy out the lease. Now you've purchased a piece of gear. You can get up to 5 more years of tax deduction. It's amateurized because, in the way that when you buy gear, you can take it all at once, or you can break it down through 5 years. Dude, you're basically getting paid to have a piece of equipment in your studio. If you do the math, or am I just not thinking this right? Well, I'm thinking it right because this is how I've grown my business. Okay, leasing is the way to go. Now don't go lease a Lamborghini for your business. You don't need that. I mean, lease something that's going to make you money. This is something that I do. If I'm thinking of buying a piece of gear, or I'm thinking, I buy gear. I don't lease everything. I buy equipment when I can, if I can afford it. Like this camera that I'm using right now. I bought this. I didn't lease this, but I lease. Like if we need $60,000, if we need a $100,000 console, I don't have $100,000. I can't go buy it. I can lease it though. And now I've got this $100,000 console in my studio, and I'm using that to make money so I can pay for the $100,000 console that's in my studio. This is fun. So a lot more information in the publication. So make sure you go get that. So this is how it works. Okay. Look, you can buy gear and you can save up your money and just buy the gear when you can buy the gear. And that's awesome. You can do that. And you're going to grow your business that way. It's a little bit slower growth, but you honestly, you can. I mean, there's nothing wrong with it. So again, in the publication, I give you a couple of links to leasing companies that we deal with on, a lot. We've been dealing with this one, All Media Capital. He's been leasing, I've been leasing gear from that guy for 15 years. For the last 15 years. And now on most of the lease stuff, I own the gear. I think I got one lease out right now for a couple of little things, but not really a $100,000 console. So there's that. But these guys are great at that. Okay. Step number 7. We're getting near the end, ladies and gentlemen. Thanks for hanging out with me this long. I know it's been a long day. Basic ethics. I put this last because I feel like this is pretty important as well. If you guys are, if you're trying to, here's the deal. I'm not trying to make anybody mad. I'm not trying to call anybody out. But if your studio is you're trying to grow your studio, you're trying to build your studio, you're thinking about all these other things I've been talking about. If you're dealing with a cracked copy of FL or a cracked copy of Logic, I actually ran into a guy the other day who had a pirated version of Logic. Like, bro, Logic is $200. You don't have to pirate it. What, FL? You can get a copy of FL for $99. Why are you pirating that, man? I mean, that's just creating a karma shift in your world as an entrepreneur and as a studio owner, as a business owner, that you're never really going to get much higher because you've got this karma thing that's holding you down, And that's a fact of life, man. It's not necessarily a thing that you can look at and you can tangibly touch it and everything, but y'all know what karma is. If you steal a mic cable, on the next gig you're gonna lose a microphone. I'm just saying, that's karma. So if you're trying to get over on clients and you're trying to dude, if somebody calls you and says, "Hey man, I got this $5,000 microphone for sale for $150, bro," you know that mic's stolen. You have to. There's no way that somebody, you know that microphone cost $5,000 because you were just at Guitar Center looking at it. And now somebody's trying to sell it to you on Craigslist for $150. No, don't do it. Don't do it. Just don't do it. Yeah, it's really tempting. But at the same time, you got that karma thing, man. I mean, you know that microphone is probably not legit. It's probably not 100%. So you guys know that. This is basic ethics, man. Just treat everybody like, remember the golden rule, right? Treat others as you would want to be treated. That's all I'm saying, man. Just treat everything as you would want to be treated, and you're going to be fine, okay? Hey, man, I'm going to get up out of here because we just passed the 30-minute mark. I appreciate you guys hanging out, and thank you so much for allowing me to come and talk to you about some stuff, and hopefully you got something out of this. Go right now down below. If you're watching me on YouTube, click the link. Get this publication. It's going to help. I 100% agree that this is going to help you grow. It's going to give you some cool information that I've just learned along the way. Okay, so hopefully you guys get something out of this. Leave a comment for me, man, if you would. Let others know that you're having a good time hanging out with us. Check out learnprorecording.com, dude. We got some there's some awesome stuff on there. There's a membership, there's a community, there's some courses you can look at. It's pretty cool. But there's also tons of free stuff. You don't have to, I'm not trying to make a bunch of money on it. I'm trying to help everyone, and I love giving back. And look, I've done this for a minute. I've learned how to do it. I've figured out some stuff, and I'm just offering it up to you guys as experience. Like I said earlier, even I'm not a lawyer. I'm not a specialist in any of these parts of how we're doing stuff. But I've learned it. I've experienced it, and I'm offering it to you because I've done it. And hopefully you guys can get something out of it, man, and grow and move forward and grow and become big and huge and remember me. All right. So when you're on the Grammy stage and people are asking you, hey, where'd you get started? Right there. That's where you got started. Appreciate y'all, man. Thank you so much for hanging out. I'm Donnie B, LearnProRecording.com. I'll see you on the next one. Talk soon. I'm out. Peace.